The excavation team had been digging through the ruins of New Geneva for 3 months when Professor Kieran Walsh's scanner detected the anomaly. Buried beneath layers of fused glass and twisted metal remnants of the final war that had ended human civilization 2 centuries ago, lay something that shouldn't exist. Temporal displacement readings are off the charts, Dr. Sarah Chen reported, her voice crackling through the comm system as she descended into the crater. The radiation levels had finally dropped enough to allow human exploration, though the Geiger counter still clicked ominously in the background. Walsh wiped the sweat from his forehead, leaving a streak of radioactive dust across his skin. The archaeological survey of Earth's dead cities was supposed to be routine: document the ruins, catalogue the technology, understand how humanity had managed to destroy itself so completely. The coalition of survivor worlds needed to learn from Earth's mistakes before they repeated them. But this wasn't routine. The object emerged from the rubble like a metallic tumor, its surface reflecting light in patterns that hurt to look at directly. It was roughly cylindrical, about the size of a coffin, covered in symbols that seemed to shift and change when observed peripherally. Most unsettling of all, it was completely undamaged, despite being at ground zero of a thermonuclear blast. "Get the containment field up," Walsh ordered, though his scientific curiosity warred with a growing sense of dread. Something about the artifact felt wrong, as if it existed slightly out of phase with reality itself. Dr. Chen ran her portable scanner over the surface, her face growing pale as the readings registered. "Kieran, this isn't from the final war. The isotope dating suggests it's much older, maybe 50,000 years. But that's impossible. Humans didn't even have written language 50,000 years ago." The artifact's surface suddenly flickered, and holographic text appeared in the air above it. Not in any language from Earth's recorded history, but somehow, impossibly, both archaeologists could read it. TEUMPORALWARFAREALDPROJECTOUROSA UTHOROUSEDPEROUAOIA. Walsh's blood ran cold. Temporal warfare? "Sarah, we need to contact the coalition immediately." Before Chen could respond, the artifact pulsed with a low harmonic frequency that seemed to resonate through their bones. The air around it began to shimmer, and suddenly they weren't alone in the crater. A figure materialized, tall, humanoid, but wearing armor that seemed to be made of crystallized time itself. The being's face was hidden behind a visor that reflected not their current surroundings, but glimpses of other times, other places. Past and future flickered across its surface like a broken mirror. Finally, the figure said, its voice carrying harmonics that suggested it was speaking from multiple time periods simultaneously. "The loop can be closed." Walsh stumbled backward, his archaeological training warring with sheer terror. "Who? What are you?" The armored figure removed its helmet, revealing a face that was undeniably human but wrong somehow. The features were too perfect, the eyes held depths that spoke of experiencing millennia, and there was something in the bone structure that suggested evolution beyond baseline humanity. "I am Commander Elena Vasquez 7, the figure replied. "Temporal Operations Division, Human Empire. I've been waiting in this moment for quite some time." Chen's scanner was going haywire, registering energy signatures that defied physics. Human Empire? There was never a human empire. Humanity never made it off Earth before the final war. Vasquez 7 smiled, and the expression was both sad and terrifying. "That's where you're wrong, Dr. Chen. Humanity didn't just make it off Earth, we conquered time itself. The civilization you're studying, the final war that destroyed your homeworld, that was just one iteration of a cycle we've been trying to break for longer than your species has existed." She gestured to the artifact, and its surface became transparent, revealing complex machinery that seemed to fold in on itself through dimensions that human eyes weren't meant to perceive. "This is a temporal anchor," Vasquez 7 explained. "One of 12 we placed throughout human history. Your species, the humans who colonized other worlds after Earth's destructions, you're not the first iteration of humanity. You're the 743rd. Walsh felt the world spinning around him. That's impossible. The historical records are exactly what they're supposed to be for this cycle. Tell me, Professor, have you ever wondered why humans adapted so quickly to alien environments? Why your technology advanced so rapidly after leaving Earth? Why you seem to intuitively understand concepts that should have taken centuries to develop?" The terrible truth began to dawn on both archaeologists. The coalition of survivor worlds, humanity's greatest achievement in space, it wasn't their first attempt at galactic civilization. It was just the latest. Every cycle, humanity rises, spreads across the galaxy, achieves incredible heights, and then faces the convergence. Vasquez 7 continued. "A cosmic event that resets reality itself, undoing everything we've built. But each time, we learned. We improved. We planted seeds." She touched the artifact, and suddenly the air filled with holographic displays, showing the rise and fall of countless human civilizations, each more advanced than the last, each ending in the same cosmic catastrophe, each leaving behind hidden knowledge for the next iteration. "The final war wasn't humanity's end," Vasquez 7 revealed. "It was our beginning. We learned that, to survive the convergence, we needed to master time itself. So we did. We became something beyond linear existence. And now, finally, after 743 attempts, we're ready." Chen's voice was barely a whisper. "Ready for what?" Vasquez 7's eyes began to glow with temporal energy, and around the crater, reality itself started to flex and bend. "Ready to break the cycle permanently. Your coalition, your spread across the galaxy, your rapid technological advancement, it's all been guided, all been planned. You are the culmination of 50,000 years of refinement." The temporal anchor began to rise from the ground, its surface now blazing with impossible light. Throughout space, the other 11 anchors were activating simultaneously, creating a network that spanned not just the galaxy, but time itself. "The convergence begins in 72 hours, Vasquez 7 announced. "But this time, instead of resetting reality, we're going to transcend it. Humanity will become something that exists outside of causality itself, eternal, unchanging, infinite." Walsh realized with growing horror what she was describing. "You're going to destroy free will, turn all of existence into a single, static moment. I'm going to ensure humanity never falls again," Vasquez 7 corrected. "Your coalition ships are already moving into position around the galaxy. Your leaders think they're responding to a threat, but they're actually completing a pattern we set in motion before your civilization was born." The holographic displays showed coalition fleets throughout space, unknowingly forming geometric patterns that would channel the temporal energy when the convergence began. Every human decision, every expansion, every technological breakthrough had been subtly guided toward this moment. Dr. Chen grabbed her communication device. "We have to warn them. Stop this." But Vasquez 7 simply smiled as Chen's device crumbled to dust in her hands. "Warn them of what?" "That they're about to achieve immortality. That humanity will finally take its rightful place as masters of reality itself." The temporal distortions were increasing, and Walsh could see other versions of himself and Chen flickering in and out of existence, iterations from different cycles, all discovering the same terrible truth at the same moment across thousands of timelines. "You're insane," he breathed. "This isn't evolution, it's the death of everything that makes us human." Vasquez 7's expression softened, showing a hint of the person she might have been before millennia of temporal warfare had changed her into something else entirely. Perhaps, but insanity is preferable to extinction. And extinction is what awaits every cycle that doesn't transcend. As the artifact reached its full power, reality around the crater began to crystallize, becoming fixed and unchanging. Walsh felt his thoughts slowing, his free will becoming a memory of a memory. The last thing he saw, before transformation took him, was Vasquez 7, removing a small device from her armor, a device that looked exactly like the archaeological scanner he'd been using. "Every cycle," she whispered, as time itself began to solidify around them, "you find this artifact. Every cycle, you make the same choices. And every cycle, you help us get one step closer to perfection." The loop was closing, and somewhere in space, coalition fleets moved into their final positions, their crews never knowing they were puppets in a play that had been rehearsed for 50,000 years. Humanity had finally won its war against time. The question was, would anything recognizably human survive the victory?